Let's say for this effect, I can show the spectator that I have only a few cards here, and these cards happen to be the one, two, three, and four kings, just like this. So we're going to leave the kings right there, and we're going to get for the spectator to select a card. So as I run my thumb down the side, all they have to do is call out stop. Let's say they call out stop here, and I say, I can go further if you would like, and they say, sure. So let's say they call out stop, and they're good here. So the card the spectator stopped at, I'm going to show you right here. So go ahead and remember this card. So we can leave the card sticking right out there in the middle, and all I'm going to do is push the card in just like this. So we're now going to get back to these four kings here. So we have one, two, three, and four kings just like this. So let's see what king we have on top. In this case, we have the king of spades. So I want you to watch the king of spades as I go ahead and I lose the king right into the deck just like this. And all I have to do is come over, just rub my hand over the rest of the kings, and just like that, your selection should have traveled right into my hand. So that is the effect for today. If you would like to learn how to do this, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright, so this is actually a very easy trick, and all you need is one thing. Now, in case you're wondering about the cards I'm using, these are the Rise V2 playing cards. So I will leave a link down below of these for my review, and I will also leave the website down below where you can purchase these. There's only one website that sells these, and there's a very limited number. So if you want these before they're gone forever, make sure you get them now while you can. So, what you're going to need for this trick is actually quite simple. All you're going to need is, see if I can find it here for you, is a duplicate card. So you're going to want a card that matches another card in the deck. Now, the Rise V2s actually came with a duplicate 4 of hearts. So I was all set there. And I also made a video recently about playing cards I own that come with duplicate cards. So I will link that video down below as well if you don't have any duplicate cards or you're looking to get some more. So here's what you're going to do for the effect. So you're going to have your duplicate cards and you're going to take out a 4 of a kind. So in this case, I took out the four kings, but it really doesn't matter what four of a kind you take out. So here's your setup, and at the end, I will show you another way you can do this impromptu. So you're going to place down one of your duplicate cards. You're then going to take your four of a kind, place that on top, and then take your other duplicate card, place that on top, and this whole stack of cards goes right on top of the deck. And that is your setup. So one more time from the top, here's the setup. Move this up just a tad bit. So you have your duplicate card on top, followed by any four of a kind. I just chose kings. Doesn't matter though. Followed by that last duplicate card. And keep in mind how the duplicate cards look just like each other. That's what you want too. So once you have this setup, you're all set. So when you go up to the spectator, you can do any excuse me there. When you go up to the spectator, You can do any false shuffles or cuts you would like. I personally didn't do any, but I will leave a link down below for some false cuts. You just want to retain the top one, two, I would say, was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you just want to retain the top 6 cards. Doesn't matter with the rest of the deck. But let's say you did some false cuts that I linked down below, or your own, some false shuffles. You're going to explain to the spectator that you have some cards here, and what you're going to do is count off 5 cards, but make it look like 4. So essentially, you're going to take the 4 of a kind, so the 4 kings, with 1 duplicate that's on top, leaving behind that other duplicate on the bottom. But when you show them, it just looks like the 4 kings. So here's how I do that. So I say, okay, all I'm going to do is take out some cards. And all I did was I pushed over 3 cards. So that's the duplicate and 2 kings. Then pushed over 2 more. Okay, so the 4 kings and that duplicate 4. I place my middle finger on that 5th card or that 4th king, lift it up, put my pinky in, and I squared up everything. So now you have a break underneath the 1 duplicate and the 4 kings. So you're gonna just pick up the kings and leave the deck and just turn them face up and say, okay. In this case, we have the 4 kings. And here's what you're gonna do. So you're gonna hold them like this. So it's like a biddle grip with your middle ring and pinky on top, thumb in the back. Gonna use your other thumb to peel off 1 king right into your other hand, the 2nd king, and you can either square them up or you can show them in twos. It doesn't matter. 3. So when you peel off 3 single kings, you know this 4th king is a double because of that duplicate. So all I do is I give it a slight bend and then I drop it. And then I'm gonna go actually count the 4 kings one more time. So that's really all it is. Okay, so you show the 4 kings, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to bend this double. I'm going to drop it. And when you drop it, make sure that it's not from very high, because if you do, it might split. Okay, but I notice if it's a newer deck like this is, they won't split as bad. So if I drop it from really high, well, now you can see the split right there. But if I drop it from a little distance, it split just a little, but not too much. Also depends how much you bend it. But because you're going to be going so fast, you're going to be able to cover up that split. So one more time, here's what you do. So you're going to peel 1, 2, 3, show the 4 kings. This is a double. Obviously, they can see this one, so no need to put it back on top. Just bend it and drop it, and then just recount the 4 kings, just like that. And you're going to leave the kings off to the side. So you're going to go back to your deck, and all you're going to do is you're going to force oh, excuse me there. I'm sorry. So, all you're going to do is you're going to force this a duplicate card. Now, you can force it any way you want. I will leave some card forces down below in the description. So let's say you go ahead and force this card. I did the slip force, in case you're wondering. I don't think I have a video on the slip force, but if I do, I will link it down below. And also, if I don't, I will actually make a tutorial on it. But you're going to force it, and something I like to do, this isn't necessary though, for the force, is make sure it's somewhere in the deck. They can see the card, and then when you put the deck down, all you're going to do is actually, so let's backtrack, hold it in your hand. You're just going to come over with your 4 fingers in your hand. You're going to square it in, flush, and then you're going to grab it with the hand that squared the card in, drop it, leave your hand lingering over it a little, and then you can come up, and then you can do this with your hands. And you can do that because some people might think you're actually hiding something, and that can show, no, you're not hiding anything. So after you did that, you're going to come back to the four kings. You're going to turn them face down, and you're going to do the same biddle count. But this time you're going to count 3 cards and drop that double on. So you're going to say, okay, we'll come back to the four kings. Here it is 3. I drop the double on top. Then you can say, okay, let's see what king we have on top. While I turn over the king and show it, my pinky is coming over just to get a break on that last card, okay? So this duplicate card, the last card, my pinky is coming over to just pull down. Now, something on pinky breaks is to cover more of it, you can actually turn your hand in, and then you can do it. And now like this, they can't see if you're doing anything, but from your side you have a big break. If you don't know how to do the pinky count, which is really what this is, I will leave a link down below in the description. But now you're going to say, okay, let's take this king and do something with him. So you're going to turn over the king, and now you're going to sell the illusion that you're just taking the king of clubs and cutting him into the deck, but actually you're taking all 4 kings. So I like to come over. I'm gonna let's backtrack. I leave him face up. I pick up everything so I cover the thickness. I put him right on top. So I put all those 4 kings on one as a top. Either I cut about half or the spectator. And keep in mind your hand that you grab the kings from. You want it to look like you have the 4 kings. So don't be moving your hand around a lot and doing stuff that looks like you only have 1 card. Because you want to sell you have 4 kings here. So I cut the kings over here. I turn it face down. I complete the cut. I can square it in. And now you can reveal it any way you would like. But now you have the 4 in your hand. And that is really the effect. So really quick, one more time, I will go over that. But I'm not going to go as in depth. So you're going to want, let's say, the 4 kings and then a duplicate card. Okay, so you're going to have 1 duplicate on the table. You're going to have your 4 of a kind, and then your other duplicate like this. Put them on top. So you're going to take off 5 kings showing as 4, or 5 cards showing as 4. So I count 3, then 2, I square up, and I catch a break. So I'm going to lift up, and I can get rid of the deck. I'm going to turn these face up, and now I'm going to hold them in biddle count, or biddle grip, and I'm going to peel off 3 kings. So I show in this case, we have 3 kings. I'm going to bend the 4th king, drop it, while I'm bending the other kings, which I forgot to mention, and drop those on top for consistency. Now you have the duplicate on top of the deck, so you're going to force it. So you can either force it and then lose it. Excuse me. You can either force the king and then lose it in the deck, or you can leave it sticking out halfway. You can cover your hand over it, push it in, and then you can hold the deck, you can drop it, and then you can bring your hand away. You can even just set the deck down just like this and leave your hand there. Because they might think you're holding something, but you're not. Come over to the other kings, turn them face down, and now you're going to count 1, 2, 3 kings. And something I like to do here is, I know if I'm going to need to catch a break, I like to peel over this first king by put my pinky in. Actually, it's a duplicate card. I like to put my pinky in right away. So now when I peel the other two cards, I drop this double. Now when I show this king, I don't need to catch a break. Okay, the move is already set up for me. You can say, okay, let's see what king we have. In this case, the king of hearts. And you're going to make it look like you just take the king of hearts, but you're going to take all four kings, okay? So I like to come over, I pick up all four kings, I still make this hand right here with the duplicate look like it's four kings. I'm going to drop them. I'm going to then cut the deck. I can turn the king face down, complete the cut, and now you can reveal the card any way you would like. And that is really the effect. So it's not too hard actually. And one more thing I actually want to go over is, let's say you want to do this from an impromptu deck. So you have both duplicates in the deck. Okay, you shuffled, whatever. You're going to take back the deck and say, okay, I'm going to take out a few cards to help us. You're going to hold the deck like this, but I'm going to expose it. So you're going to go through, and you can be moving cards around. It doesn't matter. It sells the illusion even more. But every time I see either a duplicate card or my four of a kind, I'm going to put them on top of the deck. But I'm going to be cutting cards and stuff just to make it look like I'm just shuffling up the deck. So make sure you don't cut any cards on the bottom though. So you're going to cut the two duplicates, if I can even find it. I can't. Plus that four right here to the bottom of the deck, and then you can take them and then you can arrange them from the bottom and put them on top of the deck. Or something you could do is put a duplicate on the first on the bottom of the deck, then put these four kings down, put that duplicate on the bottom, then cut these to the top, just like that. And now you're all set. Or the one way I mentioned was you can have these on the bottom scattered, you can cut these to the top, and then you can go to the top, and then you can arrange these just like this. So get that one duplicate on the bottom, the other duplicate on the top, and now you are all set. So that was the trick for today. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.